the second week of April, what is known in many parts of the world as Easter, in Hispanic countries is referred as Semana Santa or the Holy Week. It is believed that around this time the death and resurrection of Christ occurred. Putting aside the debate if this really happened or not, many places have rich traditions attached to this week. Most places with strong Catholic history and presence have a series of customs and festivals as part of their culture. Today I will tell you a little bit about a craft that got catalyzed by the Holy Week. This craft is the papier-mâché figures. In places like Mexico, the celebration of the Holy Week is rather colorful and party-like, leaving behind for the most part the solemnity of its origin. In this evolution, the celebration became a cultural showcase of the diversity and richness of the culture through dances, clothing, music, and crafts, and is this last one, the crafts, in which we will focus today. In Mexico, one of the important rituals during the Holy Week celebration is called La Quema del Judas, or the Burn of Judas. This obviously related to the alleged treason of this character. This ritual has its origins in Spain and was brought to the Americas. It consists in making a doll of Judas in papier-mâché so the doll can confess its sins, then get stoned by the crowd and finally burned. It's a good way to relieve social tension and is an excellent tool for social catharsis. That being said, this tradition has been carried out like that for the most part. However, the image of Judas itself has evolved in many instances to adapt to the times. Originally, the image of the Judas doll was human-like. However, in Mexico and many other parts, the doll resembled the devil when we talk about the traditional Judas. But it's quite common in Mexico nowadays to see a Judas doll in the shape of a corrupt politician or a racist neighbor president. The symbolism of the doll has allowed the craftsman to make it accordingly with the time. It sounds crazy, but I can totally see the appeal if we do that with characters that are socially despised today. It definitely gives some sort of satisfaction. Now, like the traditional Judas and its modern iteration, made with papier-mâché and hand-painted and decorated, we have many other crafts such as baby dolls, doll houses, masks, and even full costumes, to mention a few. Out of all those crafts, the most popular today is probably the so-called alebrije. Alebrijes are creatures with the shape of different animals merged and painted in intricate designs with bright and rich colors. The design of the alebrije is pure imagination translated into what many even consider a piece of art. One of the origin stories of the alebrijes tells that a Mexican artist got commissioned to make some pieces for a mask ball, so the artist asked one of his craftsmen to make such piece mixing a Judas doll with some animal. Many of the objects, toys, and crafts that were made with papier-mâché back in the days have been substituted with plastic. Unfortunately, that was a big blow on the production of this craft. However, there has been a period of renaissance of this craft thanks to the alebrijes. Although mostly procured in wood, there's a large production of papier-mâché figures, toys, and crafts. In synthesis, the Holy Week influence permeates through many aspects of Mexican culture, being one of them the crafts. Inspired by the alleged treason of Judas, a doll of his image was created to release the social resentment as a way of social catharsis. People throw stones to the doll and ultimately burn it. The craft evolved in some aspects and gave birth to an amazing diversity of crafts made with papel-mâché or papier-mâché, going from toys to costumes and decorative items. These beautiful crafts display the colorful culture of Mexico, but moreover, its wonderful imagination and the inherent charisma and happiness that time and circumstances have deteriorated in many ways lately. It's going to be interesting to see the next step in the evolution of the craft as society changes and as new materials and technologies emerge. Still, I hope that the life of the traditional papier-mâché crafts will be long and that it will help Mexicans to appreciate their cultural heritage.